Well, hello, fellow YouTubers, friends, and people who like watching people taking things to bits. Carrying on with the lathe, this little speech. It's all about thank you to that YouTube community. You know, I'm a slightly out of my depth doing this, but I'm getting great comments. Well, just for example, the first video where I took the headstock assembly apart, I have a gear with a tooth missing. You seen it? Up the video. I jest you not, within half an hour of that video being up, I had an email. Somebody had been on eBay, saw what I wanted, sent me a picture of it, and it was a really decent price, and there we are, purchased it. So you know who you are. Thank you very much for that eagle-eyed support. I would have gone on there eventually, but when I did look, that was the only second-hand gear on eBay. All the rest were brand new and twice in a bit price. So thanks again. And I'm going to show you something else here now that other eagle-eyed viewers have been watching and, you know, pulling, well, I've already pulled my hair out, but pulling their hair out going, you're not doing that right, and pointing things out that, well, I didn't know. Let me show you. So this top slide assembly I took off. Some guys is commenting and saying, you know, that should actually be on that side. You've got two on one side. And I'm going to have to review the footage I did, because I'm not certain now whether that should be, yeah, I mean, it's obvious it's going to go that way, but is it going to go, oh, there we are, not dropping in. Is it going to go that way on that side, or is it going to go that way on that side? But I figure if I review the footage that I took, I'll see just how I took it off, the way I put it down, the way I turn that over. Will tell me whether that should go at the front, should at the back, or does it matter? Let me know in the comments. Also on here, and an eagle-eyed viewer said to me, you know, when you take that out, if you was to poke a little something in that hole, there is in fact always easier if you put some air around it, you'll always get it in. There's like a dowel inside of there. So thank you very much for that. I did see on the exploded diagram that there were two dowels, but I wouldn't have sussed that there was inside there. Right, tonight, it'll be breast freezing in here, but tonight I'm going to take this carriage top off and hopefully the apron off. Let me get stuck into that. Okay, I'm set up. I've gave these socket heads let the dog see the rabbit, and a little poke about inside. And to me, what have I got is 1, 2, 3, 4 that I think are holding the carriage to the apron. I don't think that does, and I don't think that does. The instructions to me are a little vague, so I'll take those 4 out and we'll take it from there. Taking me mirror again and shoving that behind, and although you probably can't see, there's another 1, 2, 3 bolts and that carriage stop which goes all the way through, holding something on behind. However, I'll start by just taking these out. And I think, like everything else on this lathe, you go back to I've inherited a Myford lathe inspection. There was a lot of play in this carriage and assembly. I think that's because everything's loose on it. So what I thought might have been a lot of wear and tear might just be the fact everything's loose and needed tightening up. Oh, I'm hoping that's the case. Oh, right. I want to move you back a bit, because what is happening is as I'm undoing that, I can feel the apron dropping. So I'm going to put my hand under the apron. Now, I've repositioned this, and as I said, and as you can see, as I'm taking those top bolts out, the carriage is dropping. So I'm going to have to support that. When I take out the one on top, which is, I'm obviously fighting gravity here, but I am winning, and that's out. So both hands underneath that. The instructions did say something, I had to lift it or drop it half an inch. Drop it, move it forward just a half an inch. I can drop it out. Oh my giddy aunt. Well, it was definitely a working lathe, this, definitely. Let's see what I can show you guys. Okay, so I've just brought it forward. I wanted to be absolutely certain that anything was dropping out. Right, let me turn you around. Okay, I've turned this bad boy around, and oh my giddy aunt, as I said, let's take that, let's take that. Like I said, this has been a working lathe, there's no doubts about that. A lot of people are going to be a little appalled at what they can see. Well, I think I made the right decision in taking it to bits and giving it a good clean. Right, that is the that's the cross feed power slide. So, can I see any teeth? And I'm just checking the top one at the moment. There don't appear to be any teeth missing off that, and I'll just check this bottom one. And there don't appear to be any teeth missing off that, and I can't do that until I lift it up, which I'll do. So there's going to be people out there now who are going to say, can we have a look at your nuts? Well, I'm not showing you my nuts until they're clean. So I've gone and got an old newspaper. I'm not a guy for throwing anything away. Many of you will attest to that. And I do keep things because one day they'll come in useful. But 2013, about time it got used up, I think. I'm going to clean my nuts and then show you. This is where it gets a little bit messy, but well, I'll just have to leave you in a second. It's a little cloudy. We'll just come out of there in a minute. We'll let the extractor fan take some of that spray away, and then I'll take you in and show you my clean nuts. While I wait for that to dry a little, I thought I'll remove this top carriage, which I thought would just come off, and it don't. Yes, it slides easily that way, and it slides easily that way. We don't lift off. Well, I know there was something at the back, but I thought I would get the mirror out, position the mirror there, so don't forget we're looking upside down. I can zoom in with these greasy hands. can do this upside down. I mean, it's still cruddy and messy. So all these are good clean. It's going to have to come out because that there's got to be. That's the mirror. It's up here, isn't it? That's got to be full of crud. So I've got a stud there, and well, the bottom there, I've got one there, and I've got one there, which will relate to that one and that one. Well, going back, looking at, it seems to me that this plate here actually goes under this rack. Or do I take the rack off and then the whole thing will come off? Well, let me ponder on that. I have to tell you, all the other screws on this machine was as loose as anything. These two weren't. These two were well tight. So tight that I had to get some leverage to get them off. So if I take that off, I'm saying that plate should come off from underneath. Indeed it does. With some shims. Can you see the shims? Right, I need to be careful now, because are there any more shims underneath? Let's take me take that and find my mirror. No, it was only those two shims on. I'll come back to them in a second. Right, so with that off, will that lift off? No, I'm still missing something. I'm still missing something. I don't know what I'm missing. Let me ponder. It ain't coming off, so I've decided to spin the lathe around, and here I said before, there's 3 bolts underneath, so I'm going to take that plate off, and I'll be careful this time to make sure there's any shims on. Okay, well, I've loosened those 3 nuts, but I'm going to have to take the saddle clamping bolt off. And as I do that, and I extract that and very carefully lower that in the way, what if you can see, there's actually a slight ridge. Now, that could be worn, or it could be like that, and I'd appreciate any comments on that. Has that been wearing away, or is it designed like that? Let's put that at one side, and the nut as well. Now let's continue taking these off. As can be seen, as I remove these bolts, or set screws to be truthful, this plate is dropping off. What I want to be careful at now is there any shims on this? And there is, and they appear to be easily movable, so I want to be gentle with that. Put that on there. Okie dokie. I don't know if this is more scary than taking the headstock off. Okay, I've taken that plate off and the shims off. It's gonna just lift, and it does indeed. And what I want to be careful of is if anything drops off. No, careful where I put anything. I don't want to knock. Something did drop off. Something else did drop off. 2 things have dropped off. Right, let's put that there. But they were the screws. but they were the screws I put back in so I wouldn't lose them. I do remember the longer one went in the middle, so I'll not forget that. Okay, let's take you off the tripod and show you what we have. Let's have a close up here. I'm not surprised it was stiff to move in some parts. People know what I'm actually looking at. Alright, let's look here. That to me looks like a shim. So if I can zoom out, hold the camera steady, and it is indeed a shim. I want to be careful. There's no shim there. So all the shims apart from that came off with the plates. Those appear they don't appear to be scored. Let me spin this round a little bit. But I'm not in a position tonight to take that off and clean it. Let's look inside that gearing. That is not just grease, it's full of little bits of steel. Let's inspect my table. Put some lights on it. First, that nut. Focus. Quite clearly, it's got a chamfer on it. Is that chamfer deliberate or is it worn? I'll have to look that up. If I look that up on the parts diagram, it might tell me. This metal plate that I took off, absolutely covered again. Got a shim here that's loose. It's got a shim there. And I can feel a shim there, and I'm not trying to force anything off, because what I want to do if I clean these is to like take that shim off, get a piece of paper, take that off, mark it, so I know everything goes back where it is. So that was that one. Certainly needs a good clean up. And we come over to the other one which I took off, and that is also in a very mucky state. Right, well, there we are. I've taken it to bits. Mind you, it was partially dismantled when I got it. It looks relatively simple enough now for me to put it back together. If I'm careful and I just clean it and I put the shims back where they were, put everything back where it was, I'll have a better idea. I'm certainly more intimate with it, and I think that's what about owning an old lathe, especially a Myford lathe, is about. Getting intimate with it. Oh, didn't show you my nuts. You need to see my nuts. Okay, no, forgive this, I'm on my knees. My age, I shouldn't be on my knees. Although I'll give it a good clean, it's easy to see straight away that I have got some chips stuck inside of my half nuts. So it wants more of a thorough clean. Something well stuck in there. You can't really see that. There we go. Is that a better angle? Right, people, do they look worn? I know, they look okay to me, but what do I know about half nuts? Get up off the floor, Matties. There we are. Oh shit. Story of my life. Right. I'll definitely catch you lot in the next vid.